Yeah. Hey, big stepper like big meat. I was taught to go and get it straight about the mother, little nigga. Murder, keep my slugs, my nigga. I was taught to never show no love, my nigga. Papa Xanax, I ain't never had no feeling. What I got playing next.
In the mix, episode 27. This is my guy, Adis Kuchkovich. I'm Jay Boyle. That is Roddy Rich, big stepper. Ooh. Right off of his the heels of his performance in Toronto at the Phoenix Concert Theater. What a show. We were there live. What'd you think of his stage energy, his performance?
It was good, but I was kind of disappointed that he just kept to the box. Probably that's all I listened to all night.
Well, he did it twice at the end.
I was happy. Number one album.
I was happy he came up for the encore. It was weird he didn't do much older stuff, right? It was just last two projects.
The thing I didn't like that he came back for an encore just to play the exact same song we just listened to.
Nobody said you guys want it one more time.
Huh? But no, we wanted another song.
You know what though? He's smart because he's in a city he's never been to before, probably.
Yeah.
So he's saying, let the crowd get into it. I'm going to play the hits.
That's true.
And the crowd knew every single word of the songs he played pretty much.
Facts.
Right?
That's true.
It's a good vibe. I still think he could have done a much bigger venue.
100%.
Considering
he sold out that place quick.
Considering he's got the number one song and the number one album in the world.
Oh, yeah. And everyone's talking about Roddy Ricch nowadays. Yeah.
But shall we get into it? We got a big show.
Yes, sir.
NBA trade deadline wrapped up a day and a half ago. Obviously, Andrew Wiggins, as you've heard by now, was traded for D'Angelo Russell.
Biggest trade.
Couple of draft picks going over to Golden State as well.
Yes,
then we got Houston pulling off a pretty big 4-team deal. Getting rid of Clint Capella, going full-fledged small ball. PJ Tucker is now their starting
smaller
center.
than Golden State went.
Nobody in the rotation now. Over 6'7".
I like what they did, honestly.
Draymond Green is what, 6'8"?
I like it.
So it's not far off.
I know.
They bring in Covington. Yeah. As a small forward shooter. Lakers stayed pat. Didn't do anything. The other team in LA, the Clippers, they brought in Morris from the Knicks. Not a huge move. I think they overpaid, but they cleared out money in Mo Harkless's contract.
And they brought our boy, Isaiah Thomas.
Who they have now waived. And then the Philadelphia 76ers with a couple small moves, bringing in Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson to spread the floor, a little bit shooting help. Don't think that's enough for them to get by either the Raptors, the Bucks, probably not even the Celtics.
For sure.
And the Miami Heat, in my opinion, stealing the deadline day activities. Trading for Andre Iguodala, Jay Crowder, Solomon Hill. That's a unit, man. Wait for Jimmy Butler to get healthy.
Now they got some veterans to lead that young squad.
Raptors, 13-game win streak. We'll get into that. Set a franchise record. Back-to-back wins against the Pacers.
Defending champs.
Taking on the Nets tonight. We'll see. By the time this is posted, they could be losing to the Nets. We'll see. No Kyrie Irving, though.
No Kyrie?
No Kyrie, man. He's only played 20 games this season. The guy's a walking Band-Aid.
I know. I feel like it's just his motivation to play is actually gone as soon as he realized.
I don't know, but then when he plays, he talks so much shit.
That's just, I feel like that's his play style. Even when he came into the league, what was he doing?
Talking
smack to who? The GOAT.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
And then the Leafs pulled off a minor huge trade, bringing in Jack Campbell and Kyle Clifford. They had to address their backup goaltending issues with Freddie Anderson going down, upper body injury. Clearly, he's in concussion protocol. Yeah. Don't know if Jack Campbell's going to go on the second of back-to-backs tonight or Michael Hutchinson. And then Mookie Betts. Blockbuster deal in MLB. This trade could be halted. Announced that him and David Price are going to the Dodgers. And then the Dodgers are sending Jock Peterson and a pitcher to the LA Angels. They're pissed off now because their deal is contingent on the Mookie Betts deal. Yeah. And the Minnesota Twins have given a deadline of end of day, Saturday, before they end their involvement in this trade. Oh. So that's a top 2 player, second best player in the league, getting traded, massive, and it might not go through. And now how does he return back to that Red Sox locker room potentially? Spring training for them starts in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
So he could end up reporting in 10 days to a team that tried trading him for no reason other than for some reason the Boston Red Sox now are getting money conscious.
As we said earlier, though, you're going to have a problem with the GM and those guys, not the team. The team still take them in with open arms, for sure.
New manager, too, right? Alex Cora was caught up in the whole Houston Astros scandal, so Boston let him go as he was a big part of that cheating fiasco. And AJ Hinch, I don't know if you saw it, Houston Astros manager who was let go, gave a terrible interview with MLB Network. We'll get into a little bit at the end, but he basically, without admitting it, admitted that they still cheated in the 2017 playoffs because they asked him whether the title is tainted or not.
What can you say though at this point? You know, you might as well just admit it or just not even talk.
Don't talk. He's trying to save face to get another job.
Of course.
But it's not working out. But all right, we're gonna start the biggest news. Biggest news.
Trade so far.
Guy who I've been a fan
actually.
of, not happy with for 6 years, and his up and down, mostly down time in Minnesota, shipped off to Golden State, along with a top 3 protected 2021 first round pick,
Yes, sir.
and a 2021 second round pick for D'Angelo Russell. Let's start off. What are your initial thoughts when you heard that?
Honestly, I liked it.
For who?
'Cause
For both teams?
The thing is, that's what I liked about it. It worked out great for both teams. Minnesota now has a great point guard to play with Cat, and now Golden State's not just guards anymore.
Yep.
Now they got a bigger man in there.
My initial thoughts was
Who's the bigger winner? I'm not sure.
seeing the aftermath and kind of the reactions from guys. I saw a video of Karl Anthony Towns greeting D'Angelo Russell off the plane with his jersey, right?
Of course.
He's so excited to have, he's so excited there to have D'Angelo Russell, his buddy, who Minnesota's been trying to get for close to a year. It seems to me, though, he's almost as excited to lose Andrew Wiggins.
Hey.
Like, there was no
Can you
social
blame the guy, though?
no social media messaging saying, you know, thanks for being my running mate for 5 years that I was in the league. Good buddy of mine, nothing like that. It kind of seemed like he's been speaking out the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and that maybe that's what he wanted. He didn't just want D'Angelo Russell. He wanted Andrew Wiggins gone.
Here's the thing, though. Obviously, those guys didn't have chemistry. Wiggins is having one of his best seasons.
Well, he was first 10 games,
still
then
playing great.
Kind of fell off,
So, like, the fact that it's not working is something more to it. It's not just that you don't have the players, because you do have the players.
Yeah.
So, maybe he's excited to actually get a point guard who's going to, you know, help him build his stats up and, you know, move the ball around a bit more.
I always say when you have two bigs or two forwards, as they did with the small forward and the center.
And no guard.
No guard, it's useless. Just we saw the same thing with AD and DeMarcus Cousins, right?
Yeah.
If nobody can get them the ball and initiate that offense for them,
it's just a mess.
There's no connection. But now here's what I'm going to say. Karl Anthony Towns is just as big at fault at the tumultuous 5-year run he's had in Minnesota as Andrew Wiggins has.
Yeah.
To me, he is overrated for what he's done. He lacks commitment and he lacks energy, just like Andrew Wiggins. There's times where they have both been checked out and not given a damn what happened on that basketball court in Minnesota.
It's true. And hey, almost everyone in the NBA is calling Cat soft, so there's something to that. I think everybody had the suspicions. Once Jimmy Butler put it out there, it was blatant. And I see times when he doesn't want to bang and grind and get to the rim. But here's the thing, though. If you're Minnesota, who are you trading out of those two?
Yeah, I'm probably trading Wiggins.
Exactly.
It's the worst contract.
So, it makes sense.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Obviously, you got to blame Cat, too, because he's just as big as the reason as to why they haven't been performing. But if you're looking for a guard, as they were, and D'Angelo Russell, you got to trade up Wiggins.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is the people got to slow their roll and thinking all of a sudden, they got rid of Wiggins and D'Angelo's coming in. That 12-game losing streak is over. They're going to flip the switch. No, Cat's got to totally change his play style and his mindset for that team to go anywhere.
100%.
And they still don't have nowhere near a supporting cast that's playoff eligible.
And plus, Russell's been injured for like majority of this season.
He's only played 20 games.
This is not the same Russell we saw in Brooklyn.
And even when he has played, he's been wet. He's been good shooting.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the same ball handling and attacking the basket, though. I think he's been a little too much trying to play like Steph in Steph's role, shooting a little much.
That's the thing. I feel like that was when you came to Golden State, you don't have Steph, you don't have Clay, you got a bunch of these young guys. Maybe that's what Kerr is pushing, you know? Play like Steph almost.
I totally disagree because as Kerr has said after the trade, he goes, listen, the fit was questionable from the start.
Yeah.
And we only got to see a little bit of him with Steph. He goes, but we still got to see how he would work. And I don't think they wanted him to play like Steph at all. Obviously, they have tendencies the same in the shooting and the style.
But when Steph's not there, would you not want him to kind of play like Steph?
Yeah, but Steve Kerr said the whole
that's what that team's built around.
But Steve Kerr said his whole mindset, what he was doing when all these guys were out, was trying to get D'Angelo in the role that he'll be playing when they come back to see how it would fit. And he said it didn't work. We saw this enough sample size.
As soon as I saw that trade, I knew as soon as Klay Thompson does come back, it's not going to work.
For sure.
You can't have 3 guards standing at the
Everybody knew
he
was most likely going to end up getting dealt.
Yeah, 100%. I just thought he would play out this season at least.
I think he hoped he would have a chance to play with Steph and Klay and learn a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, that didn't work because he didn't think that Klay was going to be out all season, and neither is Steph. Although Steph is likely going to return some point in March.
Yeah, you see him shooting those logo threes? Jesus Christ.
I don't know why he's coming back.
Huh? You don't know why? It doesn't make sense to me either, but maybe it's to shake off a little rust so that when you do come back next year, you're not...
Probably, so you
didn't
don't
just
have...
sit out a whole year, you know?
You don't have 12 months off.
Exactly, yeah.
So I get that.
And plus, what do they have to lose at this point, you know? They're so far gone from a playoff position that, like...
Well, you could go from...
Putting him in a few games...
You could go from...
a little rust off.
You know, if Steph's going like the well-oiled machine that he is, he could take them from being guaranteed a top 3 lottery pick to now you're only the 6th or 7th worst team.
Yeah.
And now you're not... And it's not a deep draft. So if you're not in that top 3, the top 2,
yeah,
you're not getting an impact player that can step in next year.
Exactly, yeah.
And for Golden State, they're over the salary cap for next season already with Draymond, Steph, Clay, and Wiggins contracts. So it's going to be a bunch of two-way deals and veteran minimums. Yeah. They need a rookie who's going to be making just a couple million and can impact the game. And if they slide up higher in the standings, they're not going to get that guy because this draft is one of the weakest we've seen in the last 10 years, I would say.
But at the end of the day, who won?
I think
They both won, of course. We can agree on that. But
I say it's a good deal. I say Golden State sets themselves better up for success.
But here's the thing with me, though. It sets them up. But I feel like with just Steph and Clay, they're already set up for success. What I'm looking at is Minnesota, a team that's not even being in playoff position.
Sure.
I feel like they're going to make a big step up now. Once Russell gets his groove with.
I still think, though, if they needed length and size at the small forward position to compete with the Lakers and the Bucks if he got to a final.
Golden State?
Golden State did.
Yeah.
I think they still would have been, top 3, top 4 team in the West, but to really compete for a chip, I think they needed that length now.
Here's my thing, though. Wiggins got to find himself on that team. You are not the first or second option from now on. You got to know that.
Well,
and you got to play like that.
That goes to what Steve Kerr said after the trade. Did you see any of that?
Yeah, I saw where he was saying that he doesn't need to be a star.
He said, we don't need a superstar. We have those.
Exactly.
He said, what we need from him is chip in on offense, improve your defense, and sprint the floor.
Here's the thing, though. What's Wiggins' mindset into that? Because I feel like Wiggins wants to be a superstar. So
does he, though? Because he would have had more of a drive then. Huh? He had that opportunity in Minnesota.
Again, though, when we were talking, though, in Minnesota, something wasn't working. Maybe there's some behind-the-scenes stuff that we don't even know about. But what's it called? You're going on Golden State, a team that likely is competing for a championship, and they're saying, oh, yeah, we don't need you to be a superstar. And you are a number 1 pick. You have all this hype around you. You kind of want to be there.
If you're Andrew Wiggins...
I don't feel like he didn't like it. I don't know if he'd like hearing that.
You have no option but to adjust your mindset and buy into this role in this system.
That's how you win, of course, right?
But, I mean, the opportunity he has, I don't think he's going to be there for the next 4 years of his contract. The opportunity he has to learn from some of the game's greatest players, from one of the best coaches and one of the best run systems in the league is intangible.
That's true.
And he's going to get a lot of open chances and shots.
Well, the only person that can mess up that whole situation right now is Andrew Wiggins.
If he becomes a ball stopper and stops the movement, right?
And that's a big problem for Golden State.
Yeah, but here's where I see him fitting in. All right? He's going to be asked to do a little bit more than Andre Iguodala or Harrison Barnes on the offensive end because he's capable of more. Yeah. Right? But still, he's averaging 22 this year, 20 for his career.
Yeah.
He's going to be asked to get 18 to 22 a night and bring the energy.
Which should be easy, though, because it's going to open... Having Clay and Steph on the court opens up a lot.
They're going to be pressing Steph and Clay so hard at the three-point line. He's going to have lots of open twos and lane drives.
Yeah.
And I think they played a lot of fast break with KD there and before. And you see the Lakers using a lot of fast break and the Clippers to an extent, too.
Yeah.
They're going long ball, home runs.
Yeah.
And Wiggins is going to be the guy they're sending down the floor like LeBron does and AD does.
Yeah. Well, he's got to have that drive to run down that court every single time.
Now, but the thing to keep in mind, obviously, they get an upgrade from Iguodala as well on offense. But Wiggins is not as good of a three-point shooter, and obviously he's not as good of a defender.
Yep.
Where they're going to run into issues when they play Lakers. I don't think Clay can guard LeBron. Too physical for Clay. So can Wiggins step up and do that? That remains to be seen. Against the Clippers, Clay's going to be on one of Kawhi and Paul George.
Yeah.
Can Wiggins shut down the other one? Or at least limit the other one?
That's the thing, though. You don't have, every time, even when they talk about guarding Giannis and stuff, I heard Shaq talk about it. It's about, can you hold him to his average?
Yeah.
Or can you hold him, or is he going to go above that, you know? You're not going to put those guys down to less than 20
just
points.
Try and limit them.
Keep them at their average, yeah.
Yeah.
And can he do that? He hasn't proven it yet, so.
So quickly, we'll get into it.
know.
Where do you see Golden State finishing in the Western Conference next year after the regular season?
You see,
They're undoubtedly top 3 team, in my opinion. I think they're better than Houston.
You think undoubtedly?
I would put my money on it. I told you the
Here's the
Raptors
thing,
were a
though,
top
with
4
me
team. I say Golden State's a top 3 team.
Klay Thompson comes back and it ain't the same Klay Thompson.
I have no concerns about that. Do you want me to explain to you why?
Yes.
Okay, what's his game? Catch and shoot.
Yep. But you don't have concerns if he comes back not the same Klay?
No, I don't have concerns that he's not going to be anywhere
He's
near.
not going to be the same Klay?
Yeah, he might take a couple months,
Yeah.
but they can go on a second half run. His game is catch and shoot. Sometimes dribble to the lane. He doesn't create his own shot.
But you also have a lot of fast breaks, man.
Yeah, but he's not going to be the guy that they're sending deep. That's going to be Wiggins, and we'll see who plays the 4 for them. So Draymond might end up at the 5 permanently. Look at Zion Williamson, all right? Knee injury, just like Klay had.
Yeah.
So for 3.5, 4 months, all he could do was shoot because he couldn't jump. Guy comes back game 1. This guy's not a shooter. Left wide open because he's not a shooter. Bangs 4 straight 3-pointers in a matter of 3 minutes. Okay, Klay Thompson, a guy who's already second best shooter of all time. Now he's not been able to run for 12 months. What do you think he's doing? He is shooting 1,000 shots a day. And you think that part of his game is going to be struggling?
You're shooting 1,000. How many times have we seen this? What's it called? When they're shooting around and they're draining threes non-stop. You get into a game, you can't hit one. You've seen this with guys like
he's obviously going to get into...
I know, but I'm just saying, once you have a body in front of you, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, but we're not talking about a Kyle Lowry here, as much as I love the guy. This is Klay Thompson, the second best shooter of all time.
When do you see Klay coming back? Next season?
Yeah.
He's not coming back
I think he'll be healthy end of March, early April, but they're not playing him this season.
They're not playing him. That's a long time, bro, since you've shot a shot in a basketball game. That's a long time. I think he'll be fine, though. The superstars like that. This is the first time I've seen Klay Thompson sit out for this long. It's hard for me to say he's going to be fine.
This is the first time we saw LeBron James sit out that long. Obviously, Klay's not LeBron, but the greatest players do great things. You've heard me talk about Marcus Stroman how many times?
Yeah.
Same injury, torn ACL, comes back in 6 months, pitches lights out to end the season, and lights out in the playoffs for the Blue Jays in 2015.
Yeah.
The great athletes. This is what they're made to do, what they're born to do. He doesn't have a family. It's not like he's, walking around taking care of a kid all day or something.
That's the thing, though. That sometimes works as a benefit, having a kid. Because now you have something to play for.
He treats his dog like his kid.
Okay. It's not the same thing.
But I think he's going to come back. Might be a little slow. But I think come second half of the season, they'll be rolling.
They should be a top 3 team. I agree with that. They should be. Will they? I have yet to see.
I think they will. And I think it's going to be a dogfight, those top 3 in the West. I think they're gonna be pounding the Lakers and Clippers.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, though. How do you see that lineup go against someone like Lakers, who just all bigs?
See, I was just gonna get to that in our next segment. I thought Lakers were gonna kill the Rockets with a 6'7" center, and what happened? Rockets beat them 121 to 111. And I'm as big of a LeBron James fan, and I like watching Lakers this year.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis 8. He had over 30 points that game.
Yeah, but Westbrook also had over 40.
Yeah, and James Harden sucked, by the way, like he has the last month.
He has for a while now, yeah.
But there's structural issues with the Lakers that we'll get into, which is why I think they're the biggest losers of the trade deadline day.
The Lakers are the biggest losers?
Our biggest losers.
Really?
There's a certain need they needed to address that would have made them uncontested favorites to win this trip, and they did not do it. But should we go on to the Covington, Houston, Capella move?
Yeah. I'm gonna say right now.
You want me to go through the trade first?
I've heard a lot of criticism on this, but I actually like what they did.
So here's what the trade was.
Yep.
Bear with us. I'm sure you've heard it, but we'll go over it so everybody's on the same page. In the trade, the Rockets get Covington and Jordan Bell from the Wolves, and the Hawks 2024 second round pick.
Yep.
The Atlanta Hawks get Clint Capella and Nene from the Rockets. They then waived Nene a day later. The Nuggets get the Timberwolves Keita Bates Diop, Shabazz Napier, a guy who's really fallen off after college, had a lot of hype.
Yep.
Noah Vonleh, and the Rockets Gerald Green, who's also waived the next day. And Houston's first round pick in 2020. That's a shocking part to me is you give a Clint Capella, who apparently his value was so low, just for Robert Covington, you also have to give up a first round pick. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Then the Wolves get the Nuggets Malik Beasley, Juancho Hernan Gomez, and Jared Vanderbilt, as well as the Hawks Evan Turner, guy that I actually like, and the Hawks 2020 first round pick via the Brooklyn Nets. A lot of movement there.
I know.
The craziest thing to me is out of those players moved, I don't know how 2 first-round picks had to be exchanged as well. The value of first-round picks, maybe because the draft is weak this year, but I feel every year in the NBA, the value of first-round picks goes lower and lower because everybody is in a win-now mode.
Here's the thing, though. How, like, where do you, in terms of centers, where do you put Capella?
There's not many, so I think he's a top 5 center.
Exactly. Did they get a big trade-off for him? No, they got Robert Covington. Who else?
Robert Covington, but to me, that's like a pretty even deal for them to have to ship out a first-round pick is...
No, but that's
I would say Clint Capella is better than Robert Covington.
Huh? Exactly. No, but I'm saying so it kind of have to, like... Who did the picks go to?
Their first-round pick... Houston's first-round pick went to... Nuggets.
To Nuggets.
Nuggets walked away like gangbangers.
Yeah, they might be the biggest winners.
They got rid of Malik Beasley, who doesn't play much.
Exactly.
Hernan Gomez, same thing. Jamal Murray just came back from injury, so their minutes are going down.
Yeah.
And they get a first-round pick. And they're trying to create more playing time for Michael Porter Jr. And they know they're still a young, developing team. So to add that extra first-round pick is huge. I think the Nuggets are the low-key winners of this deal.
I don't understand where those picks came from now.
Yeah. All right, so Houston, do you think this formula of playing nobody better than 6'7" is going to work? They're already a small ball team. Now they jumped with both feet into the deep end. I went to the barber
shop. Everywhere I'm going, people are talking crap about this trade because they're saying that, oh, why is Houston trying to go completely small to the point that their biggest player is PJ Tucker, you know? I kind of like it. You're not, because I feel like they're looking at it as we're competing against the West. They're not looking at, let's say, if we go to the finals and we play someone like Philly or someone, I don't even know who, or even Giannis, yeah. But what Philly's they're trying to do, you don't build against, Lakers have so many good big men that you can't build against that. So instead they went the opposite way. They almost went the Golden State way. Let's start going completely small and beat them at that.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not going to beat them at trying to get a bigger center, trying to get a power forward, or like another forward or something. I feel like what they did was kind of smart. Will it work? We have yet to see.
Well,
it worked for that one game, Lakers, right? Yeah. But I also probably threw Lakers off a lot. But I'm saying going small, kind of I like it.
Well, especially what I'll say is...
with Golden State out of there right now for this season, I kind of like it.
Well, Daryl Morey has always been one of the most innovative GMs.
Yeah.
So this is obviously another step in that direction. The one concern I have for them, though, yes, they topped the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers took well enough advantage of their small ball.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis had 32 points on 14 of 21. But after that, where was Dwight Howard? Where was JaVale McGee? LeBron couldn't get inside because of Russell Westbrook's defense on him. In a 7-game series, though, one game in the regular season against a defense like that and offense like that can throw you off. In a 7-game series, when you're game planning for a battle and a war against a certain type of team, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Right? You have hours and hours, and you can adjust game by game. And that's where I have the concern for them.
Allow Westbrook to hold him down again.
No, LeBron is the smartest player in the NBA. There's no way he'll allow that to happen.
That's why I feel it's a slip up. But do I think Houston's a top 3 team now? I do.
Oh, yeah. The 3rd seed.
Exactly. Are they, though?
No, I said that's where I'd put them.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't think they are at the moment.
7-game series against the Lakers. What's the odds you give Houston?
Against Lakers?
Yeah.
Honestly, still not much, bro. I don't really give 50%?
Them a chance. 50%? Huh? 50%?
Maybe I'll go a bit less. Maybe 45, 40.
Yeah, I was thinking 35, 40%.
It's still the Lakers, man, you know?
In a one game, you can beat them all you want.
Yeah, exactly.
7-game series against LeBron James, it's a totally different animal.
And yeah, exactly. How often is LeBron James? How many points? You have 18 points, I believe?
Yeah. That Raptors team beat the Cavs in the regular season all the time.
Exactly.
7-game series, LeBron says, yo,
bye-bye.
See you later.
And I'm that we've seen Harden and Westbrook in a playoff position. They don't look like the same beasts that they do in the season.
And Harden's already started his end-of-season tail-off.
I don't understand what he's been doing so lately, man.
The craziest...
I had him as MVP earlier. Remember this discussion that we had?
Yeah, and I told you were nuts.
And damn, did he fall off after that.
So that game, you get good production from everybody. Covington, his first game, 14. Westbrook, obviously, 41. Tucker at 11, but he's going against Davis inside. What do you expect? Eric Gordon, 15. House Jr. has 13. And then James Harden decides, I'm only going to shoot it 10 times. And I'm going to go 3 of 10 for 14 points.
Here's my thing, though. Davis should have had 90 points. You have Tucker on you?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You're giving up a lot there, man.
The thing that Houston did good limiting them somehow was the defense, and LeBron James was so good, he couldn't throw the lobs up to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And like I said, they let Anthony Davis eat, but JaVale McGee, only 4 points. Where's Dwight Howard here? Only 5 points. Yeah. We've seen games where AD gets 30, Dwight's over 10, and JaVale's over 10.
Yeah.
That's Lakers' MO. Now, here's why I say the Lakers are the biggest losers of the trade deadline and why they lost this game against Houston. They need another ball handler, a ball handling guard.
I agree. They thought Rondo would be that guy.
Okay, but I've given you the stat before.
I know he's not. Obviously, he's not. But I'm saying they hoped for the best.
You saw it last season. He's the first player in the history of the NBA to play, I think it was over 40 games with LeBron James and have a negative plus minus.
Who else do they have, though? Quinn Cook?
And Alex Caruso.
So
here's the problem with LeBron James playing point guard every minute of the game, right?
Yeah.
So he ends up with 18 points, 9 rebounds, 15 assists, 8 of 19, decent. But you can attest to this. It's so much harder to attack the paint from the point guard position
100%.
as opposed to being off ball.
Of course.
So if you get a guard in there, if you end up getting Derrick Rose, who I'm shocked didn't get moved,
yeah,
and let him be the ball handler, let LeBron play off ball just 12, 15 minutes a night so he can attack and go and score, especially if AD is getting a break. Or then when you rest LeBron, it's not Rondo running the offense who has no idea what he's doing out there half the time, it seems like. This is not Boston Celtics Rajon Rondo. It's not even Chicago Bulls Rajon Rondo.
Here's the thing, though. Are you surprised, though, that they didn't get Derrick Rose?
I'm a little bit surprised they didn't make the push. I'm not even saying that.
What do Pistons have to win? You know?
No, that's why they would trade him for picks or prospects.
I don't
that was just one name I'm saying, but they needed to get a ball handler to allow LeBron off ball, and that could be their demise in the playoffs as well.
It could be.
Against Houston, Russell Westbrook is an elite defender and he's got size.
Yeah.
If you throw him in bodies at LeBron, he can go and get 15 assists. But the thing is, besides LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Kyle Kuzma, name me a guy on that roster who can create their own offense.
No one.
Exactly. So LeBron has to do every single thing for everybody on that team still.
Exactly.
Avery Bradley, Danny Green, Alex Caruso, Caldwell Pope. They can't give you anything unless it's generated for them. There's nothing off their dribble. There's no creating their own shot. There's no getting to the hole.
But I feel like maybe they thought we're such a strong team as is that we don't need the guards. LeBron's best point guard already in the league. They understand that. The backups are crap, but you know, it'll suffice.
But here's the thing.
In a 7-game series, it's okay.
But you've seen games where if LeBron James is not 100% LeBron James, like the night they did a Kobe tribute against Portland, obviously his head was in a different spot.
Of course,
he wasn't on. You lose to Portland, who sucked this year.
Yeah.
Okay. You get a 32 point from Anthony Davis.
Here's the thing, though, as we talk a lot about in the season playoff momentum, Portland's been on a tear.
Yeah. Okay, and we can get to that game last night too.
Yeah.
And then again against the Rockets, and there's games against the Clippers where they've really focused on just LeBron James. They're losing those games because they don't have enough offense, and if LeBron's off ball, it's so easy for him to get open. When he's on ball and they're throwing bodies at him, it's like the Raptors did to Giannis last year.
Exactly.
Throw bodies at a guy, what is he gonna do?
He's got
to pass out of it, and the Lakers don't have the shooting to knock it down.
Playoff LeBron?
That's a different animal for sure.
48 minutes probably.
Yes.
And I don't think even having him at the point guard position the whole game, you ain't gonna stop much. What's going on here?
It's updates from the score. I'm seeing if there's anything pertinent that we need to discuss. You know, you never know.
All right.
Yeah, so official Clippers move on from Isaiah Thomas. He's been released.
Whatever. The way he's been acting, he does not want to be playing on an NBA team. If he actually wanted to, he'd act like it, you know?
Yeah.
He's letting other things distract him. But back to Lakers. Are they still favored to win the championship this year? Yeah.
I would pick them.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of people
But I still think they've left the window open for teams to get into them. We'll see in a 7-game series.
We'll see. I still
like
think
at the end of the day,
series, you ain't beating LeBron.
But at the end of the day,
the only guy maybe
in a 7-game series or not, shooters aren't going to magically appear on the Lakers roster. We saw Danny Green last year in the playoffs for the Raptors. He only had one good game, right? Now, it was a big game. He had 7 3-pointers, shot 7 of 10 that night against Golden State at 30 points.
Yeah. It's a different situation than Lakers, though. I feel like, especially in playoff mode, a lot more. You have a lot of open threes.
You'd hope.
Huh?
But the thing is, if they take away Danny Green and Alex Caruso, Kyle Kuzma end up being the ones open for those threes. they haven't been hitting them down with nearly enough consistency.
It's true.
I said coming into the season, Lakers need more shooting. This is the new NBA. You can have LeBron James driving the paint, but it's tough.
They're trying to bring
in the playoffs. The paint gets even tighter.
Exactly. But who's really gonna let's just focus on the West. Who's gonna just drill threes onto Lakers? If they can just play big ball, I feel like they'll be fine.
Yeah, it's true enough.
And with Houston, if you have Westbrook shooting those threes, you're fine.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, I was never concerned about the Clippers because I said they're too small. They have no rim protectors against the Lakers.
Yeah.
Houston just maybe spoiled that thought, too.
Exactly.
And maybe Clippers watching that tape.
The thing is, though, with Clippers, who's their strongest big man? Harrell?
Yeah.
He's a small guy. I thought he was a lot bigger than he was until I saw him playing against Lakers. He's a small guy, man. He's LeBron James.
I'm just hoping we see that matchup because obviously there was that report that Kawhi said to somebody on the Lakers, "Tell your boy Bron to stop being scared to guard me." Come playoff time.
Kawhi said this?
Yeah. After the last game.
Really?
Christmas Day.
Damn.
He said to somebody
I
Lakers.
have a hard time believing Kawhi would say something like that, but I can believe it too.
He said, "Tell Bron to stop being scared to guard me." And come playoff time, Bron's gonna have to strap Kawhi or Paul George, and I'd probably be gonna be in Kawhi.
This makes me so excited just hearing that, because playoff Kawhi is insane and playoff LeBron's insane. Seeing those two match up before finals is crazy to me.
I think you were saying it last playoffs and other people that because of Kawhi's playoff run, he was the best player in the league, and I said no, it's just because y'all are forgetting playoff LeBron. What that's like.
To me, same story. Kawhi's the best player in the league until I see someone take that championship.
So, even a guy who switched positions in year 17 and has become the best at that position in the league.
Maybe individual winner. I'm giving it to Kawhi.
Sorry, how many chips does LeBron have compared to Kawhi?
2 to 3. However,
did Kawhi
make it 3 this year?
Has Kawhi taken a team to the NBA Finals that should have been a bottom 5 team and win a
bottom 5? Okay, not a bottom 5.
No, 2007 when he took that Cleveland Cavaliers team. That's the worst team to ever make an NBA Finals.
Fair enough.
Can you name a guy besides West on that team?
Can you name a guy that's also come into a team in their first year and won a championship with them?
KD.
Okay. Oh my god.
You asked the question.
Don't give me KD. Don't, bro. You could have had freaking all their grandparents playing for the rest of the positions and just have Steph Curry and KD and they're winning a championship.
Yeah, interesting watch. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
I've been wanting to check that out.
KD, I've watched about half the episode. Yeah. Some of the stuff he says, I'm like, you're the guy we thought you were.
Yeah, of course he is. The fact that man admits to have burner accounts.
Admits to the burner accounts, and then he was talking about how he knew he was gonna leave OKC. Then halfway through the year in Golden State, he knew he was gonna leave, and then he's saying the media attacks him and bullies him. And I think Nick Wright hit out of the park. He's like, KD, I'm sorry, but you just confirmed that everything we've said about you is true.
Yeah, exactly. What do you attack him about? We just call him out on his bullshit.
By the way, if somebody wants to send this to Nick Wright, this guy went on a rampage saying the Golden State Warriors made a terrible trade and that Andrew Wiggins is a bad basketball player. It's the first time I ever thought that that Nick Wright was off his rocker. He said bad basketball. I get it's a bad contract, but bad basketball player? For a guy who's averaging 20%.
And not even that. You can't say that when he's having his best season, I'd say.
Yeah, but it's not much better. He tailed off. The first 10, 15 games.
Wise, I feel like he's a lot better.
You can't say a guy who's averaging more than 20 points for his career on over 40% shooting is a bad basketball player.
No way. No chance, bro.
All right. We've gotten through everything except the Miami Heat.
The two biggest, yeah.
Miami Heat. We talked about Wiggins trying to fill the Iguodala Harrison Barnes role.
Yeah.
And now, Andre Iguodala. This guy, I envy him. CJ McCollum's tweet summed it up for me. Guy's got 3 rings, sits out over half a season, comes, secures the bag, and is now still chilling, just not playing yet. But he's like, yo, let me just rest up. I'm old, and then give me $30 million.
He had to work his way to get there, man. Remember him on Philly and stuff? He wasn't the same Iguodala we saw now. And finally, when he did that with Golden State, became a Finals MVP. He had to work for it, man. He's earned it.
And Miami also brings in Solomon Hill, Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder, one of the best utility players in the league. Solomon Hill's all right. Do you think Miami's moves changes the outlook in the East? They held the 2 seed for a long time. Yeah. And now they're in the 4th seed. Yeah. Jimmy Butler is day-to-day with a shoulder injury. Do you think that propels them? It's clearly a 2-team conference, Bucks and Raptors.
Yeah.
Do You think the Heat can now compete with those top 2 teams?
I feel like this makes a big difference playoff time.
Yeah.
For now, sure. I feel like they're going to stay where they're at.
Iguodala's going to need some time to get into it as well.
They're a top 5 team, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll stay there. But it's not like, now we got Iguodala and Jay Crowder and Solomon Hill. Now they're a top 2 team. No. That's going to make a difference when it comes to playoff time. And depending on who they match up with playoffs, it's going to help them. If they go up against Bucks, having Iguodala guard Giannis for most of the plays is going to help them so much.
Well, we were talking...
they have a bunch of young players on the team who need that
last
leadership.
episode, or maybe it was another time.
Yeah.
And I said the reason why Miami doesn't concern me against the Raptors in a 7-game series is they have nobody who's done it in the playoffs.
Exactly.
As good as you might think Jimmy Butler is, what has he done in the playoffs?
Gone through first round.
Nothing.
That's it.
What happened when he was in Chicago with Wade and Rondo? As soon as Rondo went out, they blew a 2-0 series lead.
Exactly.
And that was Jimmy's time to shine. So he's done nothing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right. And Philly, he won a round. And the team's super young. Adding
Iguodala, second
Iguodala,
best player is a rookie.
a guy who knows exactly what it takes.
Yeah.
Not only win a round, but go on a championship run.
Exactly.
I think he's going to speak volumes to the young guys. He's going to set the example.
Yeah, I feel like they needed that leadership, though.
I still don't think he's enough to get by the Raptors or Bucks.
Not get by. Like, they can compete with the Bucks. Raptors a different story.
They could push the Raptors 6-7 games even, but it would still take the Raptors.
Yeah.
Just for the experience. It's just like we saw with Toronto. It takes years to learn how to win.
Exactly. And, bro, if I hear any of you Americans talk any more trash about the Raptors, I was looking at a stat the other day. The point that where they're at right now in the season and where they were last year, they're better. Their record's better. And they've had all these guys miss at least 10
they're 1 or
games.
2 wins better. Kyle Lowry's missed over 12 games.
Yeah.
Norman Powell, who's been balling
Pascal's
this season, has missed like 25 games. Yes, Siakam. Marc Gasol has been in and out. Fred VanVleet's been in and out. And they just
keep winning, bro.
Terrence Davis, man. The last 2 games, they've closed with Terrence Davis.
I've always been in the inclination that no matter how... Okay, you have the best coaching. You got a really good team. If you don't have those superstars, you're not going to win a championship in basketball. I've always been on that.
Did you not see Detroit Pistons early 2000 championship?
Okay, you can have it once or twice. But I'm saying majority of the time, it's the superstars that are winning it. Raptors have a chance to kind of change that thought. At least if they make it to the finals, if they can take out Bucks again, that's going to say a lot to having a good team and having one of the best coaches in the league.
I think they still changed the mindset last year in a sense, right? Everybody for the last 8 years at least has been, not only do we need 1 superstar, you need 2 and you need a third guy who's at all-star caliber. Yeah. Raptors had 1 superstar last year, an all-star in Kyle Lowry,
and then
Siakam, good third option.
Star,
and then this year they've broke the mold even more.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I've never been more impressed with a team than this year with the Raptors. They have no superstars. They got 2 all-stars, but okay, maybe besides Siakam. But Siakam's missed how many? 12 games, I believe?
A little bit over, I think around 12, yeah.
Around 12 games, and they've just maintained winning. They have that's why I like it's the swagger, it's the culture now. It's a winning culture in Toronto, and they just keep winning no matter. We don't have the whole starting lineup. We're fine. Bring in the 905. We're still gonna win the game.
You see the biggest change in the mindset of these guys, and I think the biggest example is Serge Ibaka. Matt and Jack are talking about it, and Leo, and it's just the way this guy's playing right now. Who's a better big playing in the league than Serge Ibaka right now? What he's been doing the last 3-4 weeks.
Probably I can only name you one right now off the top of my head.
Jokic,
Embiid.
The way he's playing right now. Embiid just got injured, but okay. So one guy.
Yeah.
But Serge has been
maybe Jokic.
His 3-pointers are hidden. He sealed the first game against Indiana. Last night against Indiana, he was huge again. But
he had around 31 points, no?
Yeah. All of this is not possible without Kyle Lowry, though. You have your up and downs opinions on him. The way
I did. That's all. That all left though.
Why do you think Fred VanVleet? Okay, everybody loves his story. It's learning from and sitting behind and watching a guy like Kyle Lowry. The pit bull mentality. Terrence Davis, he's grown so much, and this guy's now shown he has no fear of shooting the ball if he misses one. Yeah. There's no fear attacking the rim.
But it got so bad that he had a game where his own coach criticized him right after.
Yeah, he said this guy's shit. I played him 7 minutes and you shouldn't even have played that.
I feel like most players would have shut down after that. At least been in kind of conflict with their coach. Now been like, just not with their head in the game. This guy came back and just dropped 30. He's not afraid of the spotlight, and I like that, especially in a young guy like him. And I'm seeing that with everyone. It's not just him. I see that in everyone in the Raptors. All the young players. It's like they're playing like they're the champs, still.
They are.
They just come into a good situation. They made it a good situation.
After that first game against Indiana, when they beat them, Serge's like, dude, we're champions, winners. There's no panic, and we know what it takes to get it done. And just going on Kyle Lowry again here.
Yeah.
He's averaging the most points per game since 2016 for him. 2016, he averaged 22.4, and this year he's at 19.6. But now he's also averaging more assists this year than that year as well. And assist numbers are slightly down this year, but that's because he's got to score more. It's just the efficiency in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, how he attacks the hole and hits some of these layups is mind-boggling for me.
A whole bunch of stuff, though. Like, with Lowry, you can't just look at the numbers, Because that'll fool you.
No.
You think, 19 points. Probably 6, 7 assists. Oh, he's a good player. No, you got to look at, exactly, the intangibles. There's stuff that he does in the court, just the ball movement, spacing, everything. And it's... Even defensively, man, he's bodies up these guys, and he's half their size.
Yeah,
I like it. I don't know. I have Raptors coming out of the East this year.
Going to the finals.
You
think they can top the Bucks?
I think they... Hey, Giannis said it during his pick. These are the guys that are holding me from going to the finals.
Said these guys have stopped me,
I'm telling you, they can do it.
So, the way it is now, it's likely going to stay the same because the gap between the Pacers in the 6th seed and Brooklyn in the 7th seed is quite large. 31 wins to 23. Toronto would match up against Brooklyn in the first round. That's a sure there's no fear there.
Yeah. I'm not even nervous in that series.
You put Fred VanVleet on Kyrie Irving. You put Siakam on Dinwiddie.
With Kyrie that I see a lot, it's like him playing with younger players. It just doesn't work for some reason.
Yeah,
he can drop 50 points in that game, but what happens? He lost that game. It's like it doesn't. Yeah. It's like do your thing. Yeah, go ahead. Go off, be the best you can be. But is that going to lead to a win? Probably not.
And then
KD comes back. It's a different story though.
But after they beat Brooklyn, semifinals, you're matching up with one of Boston, Philly, Miami.
I'm honest, the most worried I am be Miami or Boston.
Boston, I don't think so. We've had their number for the last 5 years. Even when they had Kyrie.
I know, but come on,
Did you see what happened when they broke our divisional home win streak of like 30-something games going back to 2016?
Yeah.
And there's the audio of Fred talking to, what's number 7 on their team? My God. Shooting guard. Young guy. On Celtics.
Jaylen Brown?
Yeah. Talking to Jaylen Brown, and he was like, it's Christmas Day game. He's like, my God, man, thanks for this one. And Fred's like, what? He's like, I haven't won here in my whole career. I've never won a game in Toronto. And Fred's like, and that was when they were missing Gasol, Norm, and Kyle.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, enjoy this one because when we're healthy, you're not going to get another one.
It's true, though.
It's a problem is how big of a advantage our home court is. Come in here and get your asses whooped.
Yeah.
You saw the atmosphere when they held Embiid to 0 points. I was in that building. It was like a playoff game, and I could not hear myself think. I was screaming at Joel Embiid. I could not hear my own voice. How loud that building was.
This is why I'm not ever worried about us playing Philly in the playoffs. Because Joel Embiid's head is completely gone as soon as he comes into Toronto.
That game, I thought he was going to leave crying again for the second time in 4 months.
Even regular season games now.
That's what I'm saying.
He's completely lost.
That game when he had 0, I was like, wow, he's going to walk out of here crying for the second time in 5 months. And you see what Charles Barkley said the other day about him?
Oh,
forget the reference he made. It's soft as cotton candy or something like that.
I seen that. With Giannis, I was actually surprised seeing some of those highlights. As soon as Giannis or someone starts coming in, he starts backing up. There's he's no physicality to his game.
Yeah, whoever they played 2 days ago.
Playing what's it called, Bucks.
2 days ago, I forget who they're playing. Shooting guard or point guard, just driving to the rim. He sidesteps, let the dunks go.
Man, can you imagine someone like Shaq watching that? Like, it's like, what has the NBA come to?
All right, I think we'll round out the show. Little Leaf stock.
Saying the big change in goalies.
I mean, it's a small, huge move for the Leafs. And last night, Jack Campbell in his NHL debut played all right.
Yeah.
The game-tying goal squeaked through him, but then his own guy kicked it in. Justin Hall, he plays hockey. He's not a soccer player. He's got...
I don't know how relevant it is, though, but I was going to say, you want to play them the video of That embarrassment of goaltending that I saw?
No.
That looked like if they put me in net.
What he's referring to is the fourth goal Michael Hutchinson allowed against New York Rangers. If you haven't seen it, Google it.
It's embarrassing.
The Leafs are mounting a comeback. Matthews makes it a 1-goal game. Hutchinson gets his stick stuck in the net, then falls, then takes forever to pick his stick back up. Once Travis Dermott hands it to him, 5-hole goal.
When he goes for the stick is when they score. It's like, buddy, you've had a good 10 seconds to grab your stick.
So we don't know yet, but he might be starting tonight because Jack Campbell played last night. They don't know if they want to play him back-to-back games.
Fair enough.
Leafs are currently in a playoff spot in the division.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not any. Yeah, I believe they are in the 3rd seed, but Florida's got 2 games in hand on them. Last night's game was an utter embarrassment of an OT win. Up 2 goals heading to the 3rd period against one of the worst teams in the league in the Anaheim Ducks. You're supposed to step on their throats and close out the game. What did the Leafs do instead? Allow 2 goals against, tied 3-3.
Yeah.
Get outshot something stupid like 14-3, 15 minutes through the period. You take the lead on Jason Spezza goal. Then you allow them to tie it up with 56 seconds left and have to get a lucky win with 6 seconds left because you got a power play in overtime.
Here's the thing, though. That's all that matters.
No.
Huh?
No.
To me, it's almost like having a bad nightmare, but it ends off good somehow. You win or something, you know?
Yeah, like, here and there, you can say.
These are season games, man.
No,
you gotta get.
You're not watching this team the way I am, the way Leafs fans are.
Of course you're not.
Sheldon Keefe said it last night. He said, it's not a travesty, but I'm concerned.
Yeah.
The way this game went. Because it's not just last night. It's the way it's gone the whole season. The way it's gone the last 4 years. This team, 4 years with this group, has proven they do not know what it takes to win in the National Hockey League. And I'm not talking on a game-by-game basis. I'm talking throughout an 82-game season. The commitment and the work ethic and the level of play it takes. And how do you close out games, not only against good teams, but even bad teams? Team like the Ducks. Like I said, you're up 3-1 against bottom 3 team. That's when you just crush their souls and you know, score a couple goals and end the game. Or play defense. You can end it 3-1. Don't let them score. Complete opposite goes on against the lowly Ducks team. It's another travesty. And I said it coming to the season, they're not a cup contender. When they fired Mike Babcock, so they're still not a cup contender.
Yeah.
They got Jack Campbell, Clifford, a little bit sandpaper, tough guy. They're still not a cup contender. They might win a round. I'd be surprised if they won a round. Nowhere near a cup contender.
So what do you think they need to do to become a cup contender? Of course, that's a big step. I'm saying at least
this is sports.
Maybe a positive step towards there.
What teams have won championships with young players who have no winning experience in National Hockey League, NBA, NFL? It takes time. You saw the Raptors. None of those guys had experience. Then you go through all those playoff runs. You learn. You bring in a winner like Kawhi Leonard, Marc Gasol, veterans who have been around. All right, the Leafs have nobody who's gone on a playoff run except now Kyle Clifford and Jake Muzzin, who's there and won 2 Stanley Cups with the Kings. And Muzzin has been preaching the same thing. He goes, we rely too much on our skill and just get complacent. But just one guy saying that, trying to set an example, is not going to do anything. You get Clifford as a second guy, but why can you only get guys from the LA Kings team that won 6 years ago or 5 years ago? Until they get the veterans into lead by example. I like Jason Spezza, guy playing 4th line role. You got to get some experience in there, some veterans. Get away from these kids. It's been clear. I don't know how you trade their contracts or if you even go that route. You don't even have to do that. But you have to insulate them with veterans. Guys who've been there. Look at the Blues last year. Older guys infused with some young speed and talent and energy.
That's what I was going to say. We even talked about this with Patriots and football and stuff. If you're a top team or at least the better team out of the two, you can't play down to the level of the competition, you know? And I feel like, again, if you're focusing on your own skills and your own stats and all that stuff, that's exactly what you end up doing. A veteran player, he could just set them straight. You know, be like, hey, guys, look who we're playing. Yeah. We're up 3-1. Like, you know, get out of your heads and let's just win this game. But
and you lose a guy like Patrick Marleau, who was that type of role model too, right? They're in big trouble. And that goes to the credit of Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
Last season. Everybody's like, they're the best team in the league by far, and much of that group had already been to a cup final against Chicago in when was that, 2015 2014. Took a while for them to get back. They still haven't been back. Lost in the first round last year. Still a young team that doesn't have anybody with winning experience.
Yeah.
They run into the same issues. That Pittsburgh Penguins teams in 2016 and 17 that won. Nobody was picking them preseason to win that cup in 2016. Nobody thought they're the best team. But they had experience. Guys who have been there. And that's what got the job done.
Yeah.
So
when it comes to playoff time, I feel like experience means a lot more than it does.
This offseason is going to be tremendously hard for Kyle Dubas.
Yeah.
He's going to have to explain a lot of decisions. Why did you wait so long to bring in a backup goalie? The thing last year, why they lost home ice, Garrett Sparks, terrible backup goalie. Guy was like 1-10 on the season. If he had won 3 or 4 of his games, they would have had home ice against Boston. You lose that. Same thing this year. Michael Hutchinson has struggled. He's only got 3 wins. If he gets 5 or 6, now you're not barely hanging on to the 3 seed. An extra 6-8 points, you're healthy in the 2 seed.
Yeah.
And then Tyson Berry's gone. You have to re-sign Jake Muzzin. Travis Dermott needs a contract. They're going to be a mess. I think Janssen and Kapanen both got to go and get some veterans. That's $5 million or $6 million. That's $5-6 million between those 2 guys who are not top 6 forwards and they're not even third line type players.
I don't know. I feel like I not saw it coming, but like so many guys on that team are like so money driven.
Yep.
That like at this point in your career, you should be driven by winning, or at least getting to a cup or close to it. Maybe even getting just out of the first round of the playoffs.
Yep.
But no, what they're driven by is, oh, look what I've done. I should be getting paid way more. Look at my stats. Look at my goals.
Look at everybody on Tampa Bay Lightning, man. They don't make anything. And don't give me the tax BS that they have no income tax.
Yeah.
Steven Stamkos signed there for $8 million. Braden Point just got a deal. This guy had 90 points last season, signed for 6 and change. Sergachev's going to do the same thing this year. Everybody buys in there because of just the way it is.
Exactly.
You give Tavares his $11 million, then Nylander gets a 7, which I think is still a good deal. Then Matthews and Marner run away with it. Matthews, I think, though, he's been tremendous this year, and his defense has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
They're in trouble.
What about Marner?
Marner, I see, he checks in and out of games for me.
Yeah. Is he worth the money?
No. He's a winger. No winger.
You fought so hard for that, now you just proved yourself wrong.
Unless you were Alex Ovechkin,
yeah,
you can never start paying a winger that much money. If you're Patrick Kane and you win 3 Stanley Cups, sure, I'll give you $10.5 million to thank you for giving me 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
A kid off his entry-level deal? Nah. The guys who were in the same position last year that signed off the entry-level deal, restricted free agents, took half the money of Mitch Marner. Obviously, some of them weren't as good, but Mikko Rantanen, you could say, was a better player, just as good. Yeah. Took almost half the money.
So all comes back to that conversation all summer we had.
What do you care more about?
Exactly. Winning or the money? You'll get the money if you start winning. That's what I don't understand, what these young guys don't understand.
Yeah. You know? The Leafs rewarded them too early. Should be rewarded for what you've done, not what you think they're going to do.
Exactly.
All right, we'll wrap up with just... Baseball has been blowing our minds all off season.
Yeah.
First the Astro scandal, and now blockbuster deal of Mookie Betts may be down the drain. So Mookie Betts, David Price are told, you're going to the Dodgers. Not official yet, but you can start packing your shit and start looking at houses there.
Your shit.
And the prospects and money being exchanged.
He was hella excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Who?
Go down to LA.
Yeah, and the Dodgers are a great team.
Exactly.
They've been a perennial contender for the last 5-6 years.
And you get to live in heaven.
He loved Boston. He said he's a Boston guy, but it's not a second bad option, right?
Exactly.
And for David Price, too.
I'm sure no one's mad about that.
And then the Dodgers make a corresponding deal to move out money because they're bringing in so much money on the Betts and David Price deals.
Yeah.
Moving Jock Peterson and a pitcher to the LA Angels. And then Minnesota's pitcher that they're supposed to be sending over to the Red Sox has medical issues. His agent and him say he's fine. Boston or the league are saying his medical, he's not passing his physical.
Did they say what it was though?
I can't remember. Don't think they did. So the deal's in limbo. Minnesota has put out a statement saying they're not going to stay involved past today.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's on those 2 teams to figure it out on their own or to get another third team because Boston wants another top 10 prospects from Minnesota and they're not budging.
Yeah.
And the Angels are pissed off too. What are you thinking if you're Mookie Betts, David Price, elite players about to get shipped off to LA? You're all right, I don't want to leave Boston, but I'm going to a title contender. Now you don't know what's going on, and you're supposed to report for training camp in about 10, 12 days.
How mad could they really be though? Like,
not that mad, but you don't. Okay, you're reporting to training camp in Florida.
I understand it's kind of weird going back to the team that was just about to trade you, But like as I said earlier in the show, like your problem's not with the team.
No, but it's obvious the Red Sox still want to trade them. They want to get their money off the books.
Yeah.
This is a report to their training camp, and just to buy into the process of going through a season with your team.
Yeah.
When you could 3 days later or 2 months later be traded again if this deal doesn't go through.
Yeah. I feel there's gonna be a lot of
Boston and Minnesota and the Dodgers really dropped the ball on this one. How are physicals and medical history not exchanged before you announced the deal?
Mean. Yeah, like they're so close to closing the deal, and it's like, oh, now his medicals are being questioned. Like, why?
How do you not check into that stuff earlier?
Yeah.
Or tell Minnesota, hey, send him here. We're gonna examine him ourselves.
Yeah. Well, Minnesota probably thought they were gonna get away with it. Eh? Like,
oh, but they're saying he's
fine. No
fine.
one said anything. Yeah. Is he though? Because I want to know what the injury is, and at least what the medical reports say.
Something with his shoulder or his arm, obviously being a pitcher.
Because how can they say he's fine and then the medical reports say?
Well, now Boston's saying, I think what it is we'll take him, but we need a top 10 prospect as well. And Minnesota's like, no, this deal was agreed upon.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And
I was gonna say simple fix. Can't they just examine him themselves?
No, I guess they say he's damaged
he's fine.
goods.
He can play. Damaged goods. Yeah. Okay.
The worst. The team I really feel for here is the LA Angels. Because they thought they're getting a good deal in Jock Peterson from the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But that deal is contingent on this deal. And apparently the LA Angels owner is furious and been calling the league's office nonstop, saying this is BS. Like, we had a deal set up, it's contingent on another one. And now this shit is all going fiasco.
Yeah.
MLB, man. I don't know. Something about that league and this sport. This stuff always seems to happen. Stuff goes away.
That's what I'm saying. Even I don't know much about the sport, but remember coming into the last discussion we had about the whole cheating thing? I thought that was a culture. No, almost. What's it called? Sign watching, if you want to call it that.
No. We can move into AJ Hinch's interview before we wrap up.
Sure.
So he does a sit-down interview, and they ask him, is the Astros 2017 title tainted at all?
Yeah.
I wish I could just play the video and had it pulled up, but he kept saying along the lines of, you know what? Unfortunately, we opened the door for that, but everybody's going to have to make their own interpretation, and we'll see, hopefully, as time goes on, that people accept our title as legitimate. Because look at the players we had on that team, some of the greatest players in the league, all on one team. We had all that talent.
It don't matter.
But by deflecting that, the whole thing was they were saying, and then MLB had said, there's no evidence of them cheating in the playoffs. It's clear as day now. They cheated throughout the postseason.
Yeah.
If they didn't, it's obvious they cheated in the regular season, right? That was in the report, all the fine suspensions. Why would you not, if you're AJ Hinch, then say, yeah, we cheated in the regular season, but in the playoffs, we didn't do it. It was a legit World Series championship run. Because he can't lie. So
if you did that one
it's
game,
tainted. I don't.
It's almost
it's
like
more than tainted. It's a BS title.
It's almost like what Patriots went through with the deflate thing. It was one game, okay? They didn't do this every game. But if they cheated throughout the whole playoffs, that championship means nothing.
It's zilch.
Exactly. And you can say, oh, it's going to blow over. No, man, every time people think about that championship now, you're just going to see all those stories come up. Oh, they cheated. Oh, okay.
Justin Verlander, one of the all-time greatest pitchers, got his first title with them. And now it's, well, did he deserve that?
I know, yeah, literally.
No, his job's a little bit different because he's the pitcher and nobody's stealing his signs and this and that. But the reason your offense was able to pick you up if you had a bad game is because they knew exactly what was coming.
You won the game for a reason, yeah.
And apparently it's come out now that upper management, so their GM who said, I had no knowledge of anything, who was let go, it's now come to knowledge that he was part of setting everything up. As Steve Phillips, former Mets GM, who was an insider for TSN, said,
learned not to snitch when
he said, dude, if somebody said we're putting a new camera in center field and a display screen in the dugout, the GM has to sign off on that. And he's going to ask, what is this for? Now, even if you said, I don't want to know about it, you're still complicit in the act.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's kind of stupid for him to come out and say, I have no idea.
I'm so done with this story. Especially stuff just keeps coming out time after time.
I'm sure there's going to be
I want to see the players penalized, and then I don't want, and then that's it for me.
It's already I've written off, I feel like, the championship win.
Nobody's respecting it.
Exactly, yeah. So
Jose Altuve,
what more could you do?
You were one of the best players in the league. Now that you can't cheat for sure, because they could have been doing this last season too. We don't know for sure.
They could have been doing this the whole last decade. Who knows?
All these guys, Bregman, Altuve, the rest of their offense.
Yeah.
Alex Correa. Let's see what you do this season. That's gonna tell us, were you guys legitimately amazing team?
Find another way to cheat.
Or was it all BS? I don't know, man. They'd be so ballsy if they did again.
Can you imagine, bro? If they got you just gotta ban those guys from the league at that point.
The thing is, the players all got immunity, it appears so, to rat on the executives and the manager. You do it again, there's no immunity. You're getting the axe, you're getting a year, cut, 2-year ban from the league.
You think that's it? I feel like that's a cut from the league. You should be, I feel, at least. It's almost like...
I don't know, A-Rod used roids twice, he never got a full ban.
Roids? How crazy are roids in baseball? I don't play baseball and stuff, but like...
What do you mean?
You know, like, when I hear someone taking roids in football...
If you understand...
You can kill someone. If I see MMA, boxing, you can kill someone. You're doing it in baseball.
Think of the science between hitting a ball, right?
Yeah.
That's coming at you 98 miles per hour. All right?
Here's the thing, though. You can... Strength, sure, and stuff like that, but timing...
No. The timing is part of it.
Okay.
But say...
How does... Tell me steroids...
Ball's coming, and you're hitting it a little bit late, right?
Yeah.
Now, your regular power, it's going to tail off at the end, right? If you have that much more juice, you can propel it that much more forward, so the ball that may have normally been a foul can now stay in play or go for a home run with a little more extra strength.
I know.
Change-ups, you can smack that shit. Hits that usually, even when you make regular contact, a hit that normally you would make a single can now become a double. A hit that you would normally be a ground rule double or off the wall, we got a little extra strength, 20%, that's going out of the park.
Is that a legendary player who they say was like, whose legacy's like tainted because he took steroids? Basically?
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, that's who I'm thinking of.
Still not in the Hall of Fame, and one of the best power hitters of all time, if not the best. I feel like
now with taking steroids and stuff, just seeing from him, like a legend, Barry Bonds, his legacy's completely written off because he took steroids.
He's not the only one. There's Mark McGwire. There's Roger Clemens, one of the best pitchers of an era. Pitched for the Blue Jays for 2 years, too. It was great. He's not in the Hall either, and he deserves to be. Now, I think those guys should. That's a discussion for another time. I think they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because at that time, at the start, there was actually no rules against it. It's just now it's all you were dirty and all that. But at the time, there weren't no laws.
There's so many things in baseball, man, that I've heard. There's that. You ever watched that things on Netflix or some shit? There's a documentary about that guy who pitched on LSD.
Never seen that.
Oh, you never seen that? Oh,
how do you hit the strike zone?
Bro, he said he was standing there at the thing, and all he saw was a black blob. And he said, because he was tripping, he saw the actual, like, box thing come up in his head, and he would just, like, he was on point, bro. It's crazy to see on LSD. Can you imagine?
I don't know what LSD really does to you, but
it makes
I
you
imagine
hallucinate.
you can't
That's all I know.
stuff.
It makes you hallucinate, and you'll still be able to kill it in baseball. Come on.
Damn, that's crazy. People probably aren't gonna watch this before the John Jones fight.
That's what I was gonna. I didn't know.
But just quickly, you're predicting this. They're gonna watch it after the fight. What round are you saying John Jones finishes it, or is it decision?
I'd say he finishes the 4th round. TKO.
This guy's only got 12 fights he's fighting, right? 12-0.
Huh? Yeah, but the ex-NFL player. This guy's insane athlete.
So what round did you say?
4th round. John Jones should take it.
KO or TKO?
TKO. Not KO. He doesn't really KO, man. But most people, like, they don't like watching John Jones fights because he's so much better than the competition. There's probably 1 or 2 fights this whole career that have been kind of competitive. I like it. It's almost like seeing a master just destroy someone or just pick someone so badly apart that it's just the other guy looks like an amateur.
That's why you like Floyd.
Huh? Exactly. Perfect. And that right there.
I get that. I'll watch John Jones fights because it's a big thing.
I understand.
I just don't like the person he is.
It's most hardcore fans actually enjoy watching them because it's like you're seeing.
Well, the thing is, as most people think, nobody really likes John Jones. They think he's scum.
Yeah,
he's a cheater.
Hey, I love the guy, but I don't defend him in terms of that because they literally have you can name the number of things.
You just said. You can understand. Okay, you don't understand the big deal about roids in baseball, but you get it in MMA and boxing and football.
Yeah,
it's a guy who's tested positive for roids. No,
but you know how the level of roids that he tested positive for.
But he tested positive for something to regain your sperm count after you take roids. That's what he was tested positive for. He tested
positive for off-brand Cialis, basically. They're dick pills, so they're pills that make
because you use roids, you need that.
But they are enhancements.
But you also don't know how much he took.
I've heard. Okay, so
and how long.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. What's it called? They do the pre-fight examination. They do post-fight. The amount that they found could not increase his performance.
At that moment.
It's in your system.
But he could have been taking it for a time. And the main thing about roids is it lets you work out more and get ripped, right?
Yeah.
So that could be out of your system then, but you already gained that muscle mass.
Here's the thing, though, also that he does. Before, his coach came out and said this, his ex-coach, that before every single training session, they get into his Jeep and they hotbox it with like multiple blunts. I don't think a guy's booming steroids and then smoking blunts and then going to training. I don't know how much I believe into. I honestly, but I'm biased because I actually like him. I do believe his story of that they were just off-brand Cialis pills that he was taking for the crazy sex life he must have with all these women around him. But I don't know.
For me, we talked about the Astros being tainted. John Jones' legacy is tainted.
100%. I agree.
All right. Anything else you want to touch on, or are we out of the mix right now?
Wraps it up. Slowly starting to get out of the mix, man.
All right. For my guy, Kuchkovic, hope you enjoyed episode 27. Thanks for watching.
Let's go.